Alright, so here is the first set of example solves or walkthrough solves for one-handed last 10 pieces and what I think when I'm doing my cases. So scrambles will be on the screen, and whenever there's misoriented centers, like in this scramble, I'll do an M prime after the last move. So I'll end up with oriented centers, because after second block I always orient my centers. So first scramble. It's like this. So with this scramble, I see that I have a adjacent swap, because I see that it's here and it's a U2 away, and I see my LR edges are this piece and this piece over here, so I know that I'll have a case where I'd want to set up into where I need to do a 3-move setup into a good arrow. So it kind of looks like this, where I have this case after I'm done with CMLL, and I'll need to swap these two pieces, so then I'll have a good arrow where the LR is here and here, like that. So CMLL, I use T-perm for this instead of J-perm. J-perm will actually move the edges opposite, but because I use T-perm, it's a bit different. So then M prime U2M to set up, because I want to swap this and this. And then U prime, the bad edge is here at the back, so I do M U prime M, and then U prime. These two don't match, so I know I have to AUF to solve my corners. And then this is just M2 U2 and solve. So next scramble. I see that my LR is here and here, and I have a pure soon, because I noticed that this, and this, so like these two are opposite and these are adjacent. So my pure L-AUG, sorry, is triple soon. So I do triple soon, and then because I know that triple soon on regular 3x3, if I set the case up, I know that triple soon does an H-perm to the edges, so basically what that means is that the edges won't move. The edges won't move relative to each other, so I'll have this EOLR to do. So after triple soon, I usually like to have my oriented LR edge in the back if possible when both are on U. And then this is just swap these two for EOLR. And then insert this at the front, U2, M2, because like I know that this will match with this, so that means this at the back is matching. So I do M2, U, and then solve that. Next scramble. So here I notice that from this angle I see these three colors, and I see that this is an adjacent color to the top, which are both opposite, so I know that I'll have inverse sexy sledge. So I do U, and then I do no, this over here is inverse sexy sledge. I meant like I'll have this case. So I have my AUG will orient these two, and because my LR edge is here and here, so I'll have an arrow on top because 3 will be misoriented, and then my LR is here. So the possible EOLRs that I'll get is either stacked, which I don't think happens for this case, or I'll get one on the side and one on bottom, which isn't that great, but it is arrow. So I do my AUG, and then yeah, I have one on side and one on bottom, so it's not stacked. So I just do normal EO, and then the back, and solve LR edges, and then solve for C. So here, my normal AUG, which I do from this angle, will orient these two, and I believe that one of the misoriented edges will go on bottom. So then I'll have one misoriented on top and one at the back, and 2 LR on the top. But I'm not certain about that. Okay. Then yeah, I have this case. So then my misoriented edge is at the back over here at BD. So I do an M prime to keep it on M, and then move the bad edge that was originally there over it, undo the M move, and then good arrow, U prime. These two, this piece is matching with this, so M2, and then solve. Over here, I have U rows, so it's here and here. My AUG misorients these two. My LR is most likely this and this, and I'll check during CML, so I'll do U2, F, and my LR edge happens to be at the back instead. So I'll keep that in mind. And for this, I know my LR is here at the back and here on the top, and I notice that the side color is like an opposite or same as this edge, so I can actually get an EOLRB. So I do an M prime and then do a U prime so that the opposite matches with that, and then it's EOLRB and 4C. So here my the edges that it misorients are these two, and then my LR is both on bottom, one oriented, one misoriented, and after this I'll get a one misoriented, one oriented case, and it'll lead to a bad ULR. So in this case, it would be smart to just not to just do your CML and then LSE. So for this case, when I have the misoriented in the front, I don't set up into this case, which is adjacent arrow. Instead, I just do normal LSE. And then this over here is opposite, so M prime, U2, M, and then U prime and 4C. So here, LR is here. I know that this is not LR because it's blue over here, and these three cannot be LR because they don't have yellow or red on them. So I know my LR has to be at the back, and it has to be misoriented because this is oriented and there are 3 misoriented on top. So I know that my AUG won't affect my EP, so this should stay over here, and I'll have a meh arrow. So do my AUG, meh arrow. Okay, I went a bit faster. So I do my CMLL, and then I solve my LR to D while doing arrow, and then bring this over here because I know that I solved my other LR to the back there. And then when I do a U prime, I know that this center over here is matching with that. So then I move them diagonally opposite, and then 3 mover with AUF at the end. So here I have a pretty bad CML, so I'll try to keep both of these oriented with the normal COL, which is just like this. And then at the back, I know my LR is here at the back because I saw that I peeked at here and I saw that this was green. So I bring this up to the top to set up to adjacent arrow like that. And then I notice that this is opposite, although I probably wouldn't notice it in a solve. But right now, this is opposite of that. So I know that it's actually optimal to do EOLR like this. and then because that's opposite, I can do that, and then solve with a 3 mover plus AUF. So here, I see that these two are matching, and this is not a blue piece. Like, this one is not blue or green. So I know that I'll have this U bars case. So then my misoriented will be these two, and I have a misoriented LR edge over here in FD, which won't get affected, and this is another oriented edge, which won't get misoriented. And both the EOLRs for this case, where it's either on the side or like at the back or like front, both of the EOLRs are good. So I just do the AUG, and then I have it on the side, so I move them diagonally opposite, and this is an EOLRB because I have a block here, so I do EO and then LRB, and then I have a dots. So then here, LR is here and either here or here, and I haven't seen yet. And my CMLL doesn't affect EO. So if my LR is here, it's pretty good, and if it's here, it's like also pretty good. So I do the AUG and I peek and I see that that's orange. So then I notice that this is a stacked arrow because the tip is an LR and that's also an LR. And with an M right now, that this will go and match with that, so it's an EOLRB. And then U to move them diagonally opposite, and then solve for C. Over here, I have these two that will be misoriented, and one of the edges on U will be on bottom, so I actually have an arrow. So do my AUG, and then I'll have arrow. So this arrow is LR both opposite each other, and it's not that great. So I do M prime and then probably U prime and M. I actually did a U2 just now, so I do a U instead. M prime U, M, and then U2 prime, and at the back I insert that. Then over here I do an M2, and I know that these two are matching, so I do M2 and then U prime and solve that. So here, my AUG will misorient these two, and my LR is on U, so I'll have, because this is misoriented, I know both on the bottom are misoriented because I only have two misoriented on U, so I'll do my CMLL, which will misorient these, and then my EOLR case leads to MC, so I move these opposite each other and do the M prime U prime M prime arrow, and that'll lead to a stacked arrow where I have a U2 AUF for 4B. So M prime U prime M prime stacked arrow, M U2 M2, and then that to solve. And there are 12 AUGs. Those are 12 cases for one-handed last 10 pieces. I will upload more and go at a faster pace for those that are more advanced for the next few videos.